world. Indeed, in the US this year, Meghan Markle is beating P. Diddy to be named the most disliked celebrity of the year. 2025 will go down as the year that Prince Harry and Meghan Markle didn't just lose support in the United Kingdom, but were trashed around the world. Meghan Markle and 2025. There are a plethora of reasons she could have made this list. I mean, for me personally, I guess two stand out. It was that night in Paris when she decided to post the video after the Balenciaga fashion show of her driving through the streets of Paris, right near the tunnel where Prince Harry's mother, Princess Diana, was killed on a Saturday night. That was not coincidence, Christine. And then more recently, of course, the debacle over her father, Thomas Markle. His leg is amputated, Christine. Not only did she not go to the hospital, in a PR claim, which proved to be completely untrue, she said, I've reached out. Then it's emerged, Christine, that the letter that she sent was actually a dressing down. The dude's just lost her leg, and she's still attacking him for having a relationship with the Daily Mail. Despite the fact, Christine, she has relationships with lots of journalists, including, by the way, Bryony Gordon, a columnist at the Daily Mail itself. But she's also sold her story to the highest bidder for Netflix, for Spotify, for Lemonade. The list goes on.
Tonight on Britain Royal Today, Dan is joined by Christine and Neil Hamilton for a fiery countdown of the Union Jackasses of 2025. And what begins as satire quickly turns into something far more explosive. Because during the discussion, a shocking rumor emerges, one that's been quietly circulating in royal watcher circles for weeks. Could Prince Harry and Meghan Markle actually be living separate lives in Los Angeles?
Christine, does Meghan Markle deserve to be in the top 10 Union Jackasses in the world for 2025? And if so,
Yeah,
why?
absolutely, and she should be higher up, frankly. I can see somebody who's coming up shortly who I would swap her for. No, I mean, I think she's one of the most despicable women, people, frankly, on the planet. I mean, her behaviour has been appalling right from the moment. When she first stepped onto the stage, we gave her the benefit of the doubt. We welcomed her. I welcomed her. I thought, fine, okay, we've all got to get with it. We've got to have some more colour in the royal family, etc. She was given the benefit of all the possible doubts in the world, and she has thrown away all that goodwill by her attitude, by her behaviour towards her father, her behaviour towards the king. Do you know, I mean, the idea that Harry has never been to see his father-in-law is astonishing. Completely astonishing, and that they have never taken their children. They claim, oh, we can't because it would be a media circus. I'm sorry, not now because he's stuck in hospital, but it would have been the easiest thing in the world. They've got private jets at their disposal. They could easily have arranged a rendezvous, and don't tell me that it's happened and they haven't told us. If it had happened, we would have known about it. And the idea that Thomas Markle is now in goodness knows what sort of state, has lost his leg, heaven knows if he'll even survive the whole thing, and he still hasn't met his son-in-law, he hasn't met his grandchildren, and he's completely estranged from his awful shitty daughter. I mean, it's look at him, the poor man. He has done nothing to deserve the treatment that she metes out to him. Okay, he made a bit of a mistake. If you're not used to dealing with the media, it's very easy to be tripped up. You know, you're media savvy, we're relatively media savvy now, but if you're not, it's terribly easy to be manipulated, and he was manipulated, and she can't.
I just don't even think he did something wrong. I'm sorry, I might be in a minority here.
No,
but
he didn't,
Neil,
Liz.
this was a
No.
woman who used to show up to London, right, when she was a D-lister looking for a rich bloke or a famous bloke after her divorce. She was on the manhunt and she hit the jackpot with Prince Harry. And she used to call the paparazzi everywhere that she was going. So what on earth did Thomas Markle do wrong? He's a Hollywood guy. He's a film guy. You know what they're like in Los Angeles. Everyone's calling the paps all the time. He's like, I'm being pictured in all of these unflattering shots. I want a slice of the pie. Sorry, to this day, I don't even think he did something wrong. I really
No,
don't.
no.
He wasn't
I
attacking
totally-
his daughter. He wasn't attacking
No.
his son-in-law.
No,
He was trying to get pictures of himself out there. And I think Meghan used it, Neil, because deep down, she was embarrassed about her father. Her father didn't fit the narrative, did he? He was a white guy. And she didn't want that, did she?
Yeah.
Because the whole narrative at that time was about a black woman marrying into the British royal family. So it suited her purposes to have Doria Raglan there. But let's just remember, Neil, that's her mother, by the way. Doria Raglan wasn't around
Yeah.
for all of her teenage years when Thomas Markle raised her solo. Paid for her to go to university, Neil, about $750,000, we are told. Now he's in a hospital in the Philippines, and, she's still not sent him a penny. Not a penny.
Let's be clear, this is not confirmed fact. But multiple commentators have begun questioning why the couple are being seen separately more often, attending fewer joint appearances, and reportedly maintaining increasingly independent schedules. Some insiders claim Prince Harry appears withdrawn, isolated, and deeply unhappy, while Meghan continues pursuing her own media and business ambitions. It's this contrast that's fueling speculation.
Like Dan. I mean, what a creature she is. She's grotesquely inhumane, in my view. No really humane person would ever behave towards a father, particularly one that had done so much for her in her early years, get her career off the ground, and forms the foundation of everything that she's achieved for herself since. But I mean, she is a super narcissist of cosmic proportions and an arch media manipulator herself, of course. She knows very well how to generate publicity for herself. Again, the grotesque example that you quoted of her at the Balenciaga show in Paris, and with the Alma Tunnel in the background and all the rest of it. I mean, how appalling that was. You think of the hurt that she's prepared to cause close members of her own family just in order to feed her personal frenzy for publicity and wanting greater acceptance, which she can then monetize, because that's ultimately what it's all about as well. Of course, she's a publicity junkie herself, but basically it's the money that she really wants. And she's been enormously successful on the back of zero talent, in my view. Why Netflix are prepared to pay huge sums of money to have her as opposed to God knows.
Well, they're not anymore. They're not anymore. That's the thing, because it's tanked. And also, at the same time, she's got a series being released for Christmas. But of course, Christine, she doesn't call it Christmas. She calls it the holidays, because it's not woke to use the word Christmas. So she's got to say holidays. And she's saying, the holidays are all about my family and all about nostalgia. And it's like, bitch, your father is currently lying in a hospital having just lost his leg. Do not talk to me about family. But Christine, I want to ask you about this whole Princess Diana thing, right? Because it's actually truly twisted now when you look at the way, Neil talks about media manipulation. I completely agree. But it's also been emotional manipulation of Prince Harry. Remember, this is a woman who wore Princess Diana's perfume on the early dates with Prince Harry, but pretended to know nothing about her, even though that she had read Andrew Morton's book. I'm about the same age as Meghan Markle. Anyone of our era was very much impacted by the death of Princess Diana. And I just feel it's twisted the way that she has, even in the latter days of their marriage, tried to say, Diana spoke to me in a dream, for example. It's all about, I think, emotionally manipulating her husband.
Christine and Neil weigh in on what they describe as a growing emotional disconnect. They question whether the pressure of constant scrutiny, public backlash, and career strain has finally taken its toll. According to the discussion, the image of the united front may no longer reflect reality, and that's where the rumors truly begin to take hold. If you appreciate open discussion without sugarcoating, like this video and subscribe to Britain Royal today for honest royal commentary.
No, you're right. The photographs that are rolling at the moment, they are a stark reminder of how she tries to model herself on Diana.
Constantly.
Look, I'm as beautiful, I'm as lovely, I want to be the people's princess just like she was. It's hideous. But I think, going back to what you said earlier, I think you're 100% right. She is embarrassed about her father. She is embarrassed because he relatively humble background. He was living in relatively humble circumstances when she hit the jackpot and hit the media, and she just didn't want him to be shown. People would have warmed, and they have warmed to Thomas Markle. She is so wrong. What they hate is her manipulation and her steely determination that it's all about me, me, me. Look at these pictures that are rolling. It's astonishing.
I know she watches Diana and she plans her outfit. I mean, because one or two or even three or four, you could put it down to a coincidence, right? But there's no coincidence when you actually look at the plethora of outfits there.
Yeah. And the idea that she thinks that we're interested in how she makes jam and biscuits. I mean, I haven't watched those videos.
Which she doesn't do, of course.
Oh, yeah. And by the way, you can't even call it jam because there's not enough sugar content. It's a spread. It's a fruit spread.
It's a spread.
Because it's so runny and awful.
But you can't get away without seeing some of it because it pops up on news items and things, and it is so sickly ghastly. She's totally self-delusional. How she possibly thinks that people are taken in by her. I think she's a hideous woman, absolutely hideous. And I'm not talking about physically. She's hideous inside. She's hideous in here.
Yeah, well, I mean, one of her biggest crimes, in my view, is her ruination of Prince Harry himself, because when he was younger and before he met her, he was one of the most popular members of the royal family.
Well, he was. There were polls, and it's actually astonishing when you think about how unpopular he is today. But Prince Harry was the only bloke who, for a regular period of time, according to YouGov, was actually more popular than the late Queen Elizabeth II. And look, let's move on because this is connected. At number 7 in our countdown of the Union Jackasses of 2025, as chosen by outspoken viewers, it is Prince Harry. So, Christine Hamilton, do you agree with what Neil is saying about what's happened to the delusional Duke?
I'm surprised that Harry is higher up than Meghan, frankly, because I just think he's a innocent pawn in a way. I mean, not particularly innocent, but it's like a cat and a mouse. She plays with him like a cat plays with a mouse, and he can't get away. He's thick, isn't he? I mean, he really is. Look at him, honestly. He's been captivated by her. I mean, I'm sure, she's ostensibly a attractive woman, if you like that sort of thing. He's been completely captivated by her, and now he is utterly manipulated by her. I mean, the rumours are that they don't really live much together in the Montecito mansion. He lives somewhere down the road with somebody else. I don't mean he's having an affair, just somebody else's house. They've got all these places at their disposal. I think he's a pathetic, frankly. He's a pathetic specimen of a man. He allows her to get away with all this appalling manipulation. What does it do to him when he sees his wife looking like his mother?
But and Neil, this is the problem, though, isn't it? She has trapped him because all year we have heard about Harry talking about setting up this rival royal court in the United Kingdom to challenge his brother. He's challenged the security as well. And it looks like he is actually going to get it, which I think is very disturbing. But I'm sorry, Neil, if you were happy, as they claim to be, in Montecito, he wouldn't be wanting to come back here. It is the surest sign that this is a miserable marriage. He cannot stand his time in Montecito. I mean, I've reported this now for over a year, but he's trapped. He's trapped because he lost everything. He can't admit that he was wrong. So what he's going to do is spend increasing amounts of time in the United Kingdom away from Meghan, knowing full well that regardless of what the spin is, Neil, that woman don't want to be here. Okay, because she's not stupid. She knows she is despised here. There was that moment outside St. Paul's Cathedral. Do you remember this? During the late Queen's Platinum Jubilee, where she was booed. And that was it. That was it. Yeah. This is not a woman who is going to be spending time in the United Kingdom. Prince Harry is. That's not a sign of a happy marriage. I'm sorry. It's a deeply unhappy marriage. But she has trapped him, Neil.
Absolutely, and no wonder Buckingham Palace staff used to call him the hostage, because that's exactly what's happened to him. He's been taken hostage by her, kidnapped, if you like, And it is a pathetic spectacle. I know he's just besotted with a God knows why. And personally, I prefer a woman with a bit of flesh on the bones, like Christine. But
Not that much
these are,
flesh, thank you very much, Neil.
but I know this is all a matter of taste, but there you go. But no, I think you're absolutely right that she has no interest whatsoever in being in cold, rainy Britain, where Hollywood glitz is not available to her at every opportunity. She's never been interested in anything else other than the glitzy world of LA and Hollywood, and she has dragged Harry along in her slipstream, using him and his contacts and the publicity that can be generated from it to benefit her own career, if you can call it a career. I mean, that's what's going to happen. I feel sorry for him in a way. I mean, it's difficult to feel sorry for him the way he's behaved in recent years. But if you think of it as a case of kind of diminished responsibility, where he's being manipulated by this Cruella de Vil creature that he's shacked up with, then I suppose you can feel a bit sorry for him. But if he were able to reconnect with his old family, then I think that would be a very good thing for him. She's the one that stands in the way of all of this, and she'll never let him go so long as he can be of use to her career.
Do you remember, Dan, when they first planned to go off to LA, etc.? We, the press, the general public, all said, "Oh gosh, he's gonna miss British life. He's going to miss the royal family. He's going to miss his service life. He's going to miss all his service pals. You know, he was in Afghanistan. He's going to miss ABC. He's going to miss rainy Britain. I mean, you know." And I think Neil's absolutely right. He does. I think he would love to come back, but she is just so. I mean, he isn't welcome by a large proportion of the British public, and I include myself. I don't want to see him back on British soil. He can jolly well stew in America for the rest of my life. Come back when I'm dead, frankly. But she would get a very hostile reception. She wouldn't be able to go out in public that much without bodyguard. No wonder he's worried about their security when they come over here. No, I think it is very sad. I used to feel sorry for him. I don't anymore. I mean, the man's an utter wimp. He's a complete and utter wimp.
I don't feel sorry for him at all.
Dragged away from the things he loved, you know.
And there's no excuse for the way that he treated his family. There really isn't. No. And especially the late Queen Elizabeth II, especially the late Prince Philip, and let's just not forget Catherine, while she was battling cancer, and King Charles, while he is battling cancer. There's something uniquely twisted about treating sick family members.